Good, good. Good morning, and thank you for being here. My name is Rodney Wright. I'm the Saline County Sheriff, and today marks the 100th day of office. And we've accomplished, we feel like, a lot. Someone asked me the other day, said, "How's it going?" I said, "Well, if you like drinking through a fire hose, then it's great." It's a great place to work, a great place to be a part of. You know, during my first 100 days, we set goals, and this sheriff's office, we set them on based on 4 pillars, and that was professionalism, accountability, transparency, and cooperation. And the cooperation is with the local law enforcement, state and federal, and it's important. And I spoke about that during my when I was running, that we had to have that to have success. And so that's with those 4 pillars in place, and that's what we're going by. It was easy to go through these 100 days and accomplish a lot. You know, day one, what I did is I came in and we gave the entire department a drug test, myself included. I think we have roughly, at the time, about 105 employees. And I'm very proud to say that we had 100% compliance. Illegal drug use at this department, on or off duty, would not be tolerated, and you will not work here. You know, and that itself was part of us rebuilding the trust with the community. It's important to make sure that not only our department knows, but the public knows that, hey, they can come to us at any time, they can trust us. You know, we've all heard rumors of things in the past that may or may not have been true, but I can tell you right now, this is a new department, and we'll move forward with that image. We are a clean department, a trustworthy department. And again, that was just the first thing to start to rebuild the trust. And after doing the initial drug test, we continued it with random drug tests every month. We'll have 2 employees selected randomly every month to be tested. That way we can continue what we've already started. I think it's important, again, to stay on track with continuing building that trust with the public. You know, the next thing we did was, or I did, and then I will eventually, halfway through this, quit referring to I, and it's us and we, because we are a team. But you know, you surround yourself with good people, and that's important. It's important that you evaluate what you have. And my existing staff had over 6 decades of law enforcement experience. And long before I was elected, I said that I would recruit from outside of the department, and outside of Saline County, outside of Arkansas. And that's what I did. One person that I hired is my chief deputy, Jay Fitzpatrick. He has over 30 years of law enforcement experience, and he moved here from San Francisco. He had state and local, he had local and federal experience being with the DEA. My jail administrator, J.P. Messier, 30 years plus in law enforcement. He came from Los Angeles and then to Pulaski County to work for Doc Holliday. And I appreciate Doc Holliday training him and giving him up to us. We appreciate that. Our support lieutenant, Jeff Silk, 30 plus law enforcement experience in local and federal level also. He moved here from Washington, D.C. You know, I've been asked by several people, how do you keep getting these people to move here to work for you? I'm not exactly sure, but I'd like to say it's because of my personality, but I'm sure it's not. This is a great place to work, and I'm very thrilled to have these 3 guys come into our staff to complement our staff, because that's what it's about. It's about taking the existing and the new and combining it. You know, during my campaign and during the elections, I've seen that people wanted new, fresh ideas. They wanted fresh, new perspectives in Saline County. And that's what these 3 guys brought to us. They brought thinking outside the box. They brought new ideas. And again, they had experiences that a lot of us have never had by being in law enforcement all over the country and all over the world, for that matter. So with those 3 hires, again, adding with my current staff, it was a huge plus for Saline County. You know, during the campaign, the number one issue it seemed to everyone was the drug problem. Because everyone knows most crime has one common thread, and that's drugs. They're stealing to buy drugs. They're committing other crimes to get that drug of choice, and that's a main, if not the top, problem in our county. A part of it, addressing that was who I hired. My chief deputy, 28 years DEA. He was an executive level. Jeff Silk, also retired DEA, executive level. Bringing in people that understand the narcotic world, understand how to fight it, how to obtain money through grants and so forth to fight it. And that was a key factor in not only their hires, but again, addressing that number one priority, which is a drug problem. Another thing I did, I met with the DEA director in Little Rock, and I'm very proud to say that we have our very first Saline County detective in the DEA task force. And you ask, what does that bring for us? Well, that brings us resources. That brings us additional manpower that we can call on that task force to help us out. They have already been at work in our county. There's been, I think, a couple of news articles already that's been published that they were in combination with Benton, us, and Little Rock worked a deal out toward East End. And I think there's probably going to be more to come. So I'm very proud to say that we're a part of that organization. And again, this is our very first one to have in it. I'm not sure why it took so long, but we're there now, which is great. We have an additional 2 more narcotics officers that we have, along with Benton's Narcotics Squad, formed a partnership. Because, and Shelley, I know you were there at one of the debates that we talked about. How are we going to win this drug problem? It's not by myself. It's not one agency working alone. It was by cooperation, and so that's what we did. We reached out to the biggest department in our county, who's got a good-sized narcotics unit, and we teamed up with them. Now, it's not to say that the rest of the departments aren't going to join in. We hope so. But again, that's how we're going to battle this problem with drugs, because again, it goes back to what we've always said. The drug dealers do not know boundaries from one county to, or one city to the other, even counties, from their thefts and so forth. And so that's what we're doing. You know, and along that, we have started monthly meetings of all law enforcement agencies within our county. We had one actually here yesterday. The next one will be in Hot Springs Village on May the 1st. The Hot Springs Village acting chief is going to put that on. And basically what that is it's all law enforcement heads coming in one room in the county, and we invite surrounding sheriffs also, and federal, FBI, DEA, and so forth are here also. But we want to make sure that everyone's aware of the issues that are going on within our county. And so by having those monthly meetings, that's what that accomplishes. And so that's another good tool, I guess you might say, that we're using to keep in contact, so that we can make sure that the same crime that we're dealing with, if someone else is dealing with it, they're aware of it. And along that same lines, we've opened up a really good line of communications with our email systems, just sending different information back and forth about whether it be drug use, thefts, any crime, really. I tell you, the quorum court has really been excellent with working with our department. I can't say enough about the quorum court members. We've got, I think, 5 new ones, and they did a great job with working with us. You know, they've helped me within my budget move money around to see where it's needed, and that's important when you've got a limited budget. The next thing that we did was we wanted to rebrand the sheriff's office. We wanted to move forward with a new look, a new image, a new personality, you might say. And the first and the easiest way to do that was we changed the way we look. You can't get back a first impression. And so we changed our image, we changed our uniforms, and you'll see that, that I wear a uniform, and I wear one daily. It's because I'm proud of it. It's because I'm proud of where I work, and I want people to know that I'm the sheriff. My command staff wears a uniform, and that too is part of our plan, because again, we're all proud of where we work, and so the uniforms are one step to better bolster our visibility into the public. You know, and I think it really shows example of leading. You know, you lead by example, and that's what I'm about. I'm a very hands-on sheriff. Sometimes that's not always the best, but I stay very involved in the day-to-day activities. And again, I feel like I'm a part of it if I'm wearing a uniform, and I'm out and I'm available for a call if need be. We've got a good staff and good deputies that thankfully handle most of that, so that I don't have to. But I think uniforms, again, are important. People, how you get out of that car, their first impression of that professionalism that they see goes a long ways on defusing an incident that they're getting involved in, or just reassuring the person that they're going to take a call from that, hey, this guy's here, he's professional, he's here, he knows what he's doing, and he's going to do a good job. And it builds confidence. And so, again, that's when people say, I've noticed y'all's new uniforms, and I've told them as well, we're rebranding the department, and this is part of it. The next thing, you know, transparency is huge, and social media is the thing that's going right now. And you know, we can go to civic groups and meetings and meet with people, and we do, and we have been, and we enjoy those. And if anybody wants us to come talk at any event, we will. But I only reach out to a small percentage of people when we do that. And so with social media, Jeff Silk is one of his tasks is the public information officer. Well, we are redesigning our webpage, redesigning our Facebook page. There will be an app available for your phone that will have the Saline County Sheriff's Office. And basically what that's going to do is it's going to make us more accessible. There will be a text-to-tip associated with the app and Facebook, and it'll be all anonymous, so that, you know, when someone's got some information, and they can go ahead and quickly pass it on to us, and there will actually be somebody there reading it, and so that's important. We're working on it right now. It should be up and rolling probably in another month. I'm looking toward Jeff to look for a nod. Yeah, thank you. And hopefully, again, that'll be the best way we can reach out. And, you know, with 112 roughly 1,000 people in our county, we've got to use every tool that we possibly have to get our word out, and to not only brag on ourselves, but brag on other citizens of Saline County. And so, and we want you all to be aware of any potential dangers. And there's going to be a lot of tabs. Here, our mascot there. There's going to be a lot of things on the website that's going to be very useful. And then, of course, also, you know, there'll be neighborhood watch programs and things like that implemented during this whole time. You know, and when I came in the office, what I heard from the people that worked here was that we need more training. We need the training, whether it be just the opportunity to go, the funds to go. We just need more training. And I agree. You know, training helps build confidence, professionalism, and so that's what we did. The staff, you know, the first 100 days, I don't know how many training requests that I've signed. We're encouraging training. We're encouraging, you know, police supervision, crime scene investigations, use of force training. We want all of our supervisors to be well. I guess he first would be a good, in all types of crime, whether it be detective division, training, patrol, jail. We're making sure that everybody is basically cross-trained. We've reached out to several mental health facilities here locally, and we're currently trying to line up some training with them so that our deputies can quickly identify people that have mental issues, so that we can better deal with them. And because again, we want to make sure we identify it quickly so that we know how to address it. And a lot of times that training is not readily available, and you got to go find it. And so that's what we're doing. We have found that there's a big need in that in our community. That's been brought to my attention, and we are definitely seeking it out to get it for our deputies. Lack of patrol or lack of deputies on the streets, that's been a big concern. We have a huge county, and I hate to say this, but our patrol shift consists of 5 deputies when they're all here. That covers this entire county. And so basically, budgets aren't getting any bigger, they're actually shrinking every day. So I found a way to do more with less. And that pretty well sums up what we're doing on a lot of things, doing more with less. We've added 2 new deputies. We came in, we found existing funding that was already in our budget. Just we moved money around, and we were able to, and we did, and part of it was, my job was to evaluate every position in this department, to whether or not we needed it, whether or not we were duplicating services, and we found that. We found that there was some services that were being duplicated, and we eliminated those particular positions, which in turn freed up money so we can put more deputies on the streets. And so that's what we're doing. We're doing it by adding to a swing shift, per se, and basically what that boils down to is adding deputies to peak hours. We're not using them in the near non-peak low hours. Sometimes we're using them so that all shifts that are working benefit from it. Again, it's doing more with less. Would be the easiest way to say it, and it kind of relieves a little bit of pressure on the deputies and the workload. More visibility. Again, it goes back to only having 5 deputies on the streets. So again, we had to do more with less, and we have a lot of unmarked cars. So that were out doing their duty, what they do, whether it's serving papers or serving warrants or whatever. So what we did is we marked every one of them. We marked them, striped them, made them very visible, because they're out patrolling in our county, and that was the best way to improve visibility. And because they not only are they out there doing what they're assigned, whether it be warrants or serving papers, but they're patrolling. They'll answer a call if they're close. They'll assist with the deputies if need be. Yes, they do have their main function, which is other than patrol. But again, we wanted to improve visibility and improve presence, and so we did that. Again, with taking what we have and making do with it. Last but not least is our jail. I have a new jail administrator, J.P. Massier. He came from Los Angeles and then to Pulaski County and then to us. And I can't say enough about Lieutenant Massier, because during this whole campaign, people said, if you didn't have a jail to worry with, it'd be a great job. But you know what? I don't worry with our jail. I've got the right man in charge. He's done some amazing things in such a short time. He's initiated training in both dealing with the inmates and the public. He has found ways to cut costs. He has found ways to make things run more efficient in the jail than it has been in the past. He's implemented programs that have been suspended, and one of them would be the inmates out picking up trash. We've got that back going again. The highway department's already using us, so that's good. We want our inmates giving back to the community, and so we're reinitiating those programs. But again, he has done a great job over there of making the jail running and working so smoothly. It's just, again, there's not enough words to tell you that how much confidence I have in him with running our jail. He's made it more professional. You know, one thing that I really have to compliment JP on is his motto is we treat everyone with respect. Everyone. We treat inmates with respect, we treat employees with respect, and we treat the public with respect. You know, we have citizens coming down here every day wanting to see their loved ones or relatives, and you know what? They deserve to be treated with respect, and they will be. They have been, and JP's done a great job of holding people accountable for that. And that again goes back to accountability. We will hold our deputies, our employees accountable, just as you hold me accountable. And again, I appreciate the opportunity to come here and talk to y'all. It's been a great 100 days. You know, they always say that you really need to find a job that you really like, and I found the job that I really, really enjoy and I like, and I hope to be doing this for many years to come. I guess to sum it up, I'd do it again tomorrow. When asked, how's it going? It's going great. And with that, anyone wants to ask any questions? I know Shelley's got one at least.
I'm sure I have a few. I attended a meeting a while back when Barfield was acting sheriff, and it was in Perrin. And people were asking, and I know that you have 5 people on the street, 5 people patrolling. Well, people were asking, if I call about something and all your guys are in East End, how long is it going to take for somebody to get to my house? And I don't know if there's an easy answer to that.
Well, I'll tell you how we've addressed that. We've addressed it by our sergeants holding our deputies accountable for their districts that they're assigned to. The county's broken up into districts. You have the east, west, central, and so deputies are assigned to those districts. Mm-hmm. And we've told our sergeants that it's important that when you assign deputies to these areas, that they stay in these areas. They don't migrate to other places to go see what's going on because it might be funner over there, or there might be more going on. We've told them to again hold their deputies accountable to what their assignments are. That goes back to us marking more of the cars that are out patrolling. And it's funny that you say that about Perrin. I got a compliment yesterday, matter of fact, by a gentleman who lives actually past Perrin, but he said that he was talking to someone out there, and they said, "Well, we sure have been seeing a lot more deputy cars out there." So that's that shows that they're being seen. That's great. We're using our reserves more. We've got a good reserve program, and we hope to add to that. So if anyone knows a good reserve, and actually we are hiring right now too. So.
Talking to you,
baby. Got tapped on the shoulder. But at the same time, though, the reserve program, we are holding our reserves to the same standard that we hold our deputies to, and we're not. It's not we take anybody and everybody. We want to make sure that we are getting good qualified people, and so that. Because they are an extension of us, and they represent us, and they look exactly like us. We dress the same. There's no difference. So, again, we hold everyone to a professional standard, and the reserves as well. But they've helped us out a lot with those outer areas that sometimes get, not ignored, but just sometimes it's not just as busy as other parts of the county. But again, we're making our guys stay in their district. So hopefully that'll help that problem.
Yeah. Well, And I heard some residents say, "Well, we just put our foot on their neck until y'all show up." So, but it sounds like that's different now. So that's good. I think visibility is good as a teen. When I would drive around, just learning traffic laws, just seeing the decals on a car, whether it was somebody was in the car or not, made you think twice about what you're doing. But what I was going to ask you about is I think it was HB 1375. We talked about in the Arkansas Legislative Breakfast just now, and what that does is it would enable the county to make a tax just on alcohol, and that money is planned to go towards the sheriff's office or just the jail?
Well, it'd be the sheriff's office. The way I believe it was worded was the sheriff's office, and it encompassed the jail, so it would be used for the.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So. And I guess Julie.
Yeah, well, I think they voted on it, and there weren't enough people present to get a good vote. So and hopefully they're going to try to do it again. And plus, they'll have at least one special session, so there's still hope that it could pass.
Yeah, and I didn't realize there was going to be a special session until Kim Hammer said it at the meeting this morning. So that's good to know.
Well, that's a possibility.
Anyone else? Sure. Sorry.
If you have an ultimate goal for the sheriff's office, what does that picture look like? When you get everything like you really want it, what would the perfect sheriff's office look like to you?
The perfect sheriff's office? I'll tell you, I went to had a new sheriff class, per se, in December, and it was 18 new sheriffs who got elected. And we're sitting around there and we're discussing how we're going to run our departments, or how we should run our departments, who we may go look at, which department we should go see, who should we go mentor. You know what my ultimate goal would be? To be that department that when new sheriffs are elected, that they say, hey, we're going to Saline County because we want to see how they're doing things, because they're doing it right. And that's my ultimate goal, is to be the department that other sheriffs want to come to and figure out what we're doing, because they're seeing that we're doing things the right way. So, that kind of encompasses the professionalism and everything that we're trying to do here. And I tell you, we're going to accomplish that goal. We're going to be that department that other agencies want to come talk to and find out what we're doing right.
Thank you.
Anything else? I would ever get caught up in a writing. I don't know how y'all write that fast. I wouldn't be able to read my writing.
That's why I'm taking video.
She can go back and listen to what I said.
You talked about the drug problem in Saline County, and I know I look through the 911 reports daily, and I've seen fewer of people calling in saying something blew up. There was an explosion. There's, I don't know if the meth makers are getting better at making things, or if they're locked up. But what do you think? And I've seen that there was a large arrest recently. Maybe that has to do with it. But do you think that there's a lot of it getting off the street? And I know there's legislation that you can only buy a certain amount of whatever it is you use to make it.
Yeah.
But what do you account for getting to where you want to be?
Well, the tougher laws on as far as being able to purchase the ingredients is, to me, that's been probably the biggest perk, I guess, to deter the drug problem. That was passed several years ago, and we're seeing the impact, because again, you're seeing less calls of explosions and so forth at meth labs. But unfortunately, it's like anything else. You try to solve one problem, and three take their place. Prescription drugs are huge right now. That's a big problem, because they're in everyone's cabinets at home. They're easily accessible. Mm-hmm. And so that's, again, you take away one, you have another one take its place. And speaking of that, on April 25th, we have Drug Take Back Day. and that's going to be all across the county. Benton PD will have a couple of sites to drop off. We as well, one of our sites will be Harvest Food in East End. We'll have people there. I think it's from it's a 10 to 2?
10 to 2, yes, sir.
10 to 2 on the 25th. And then at Cranford's, right outside the East Gate on Highway 5. Saline County will have one set up there. Hot Springs Village will have one third PD. So again, that's a huge thing for us to do, and to take back all the prescription drugs and then get them destroyed the proper way.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to continue to be a big part in that. That's April 25th. Yes?
Is the jail adequate for what you need to serve your purposes?
You know what? Our capacity is, I think, 223. Is that right?
Today it's 197.
Okay, we're at 197. Our top capacity is about 223. You know, we've got a good facility. We really do. We're holding a lot of state inmates. I think the last count, 97 that are waiting for a bed space. And so you see what ties up a lot of our jail. Because we can only hold a certain amount, a lot of your minor misdemeanors get cut loose because we had those 97 that we have to keep until it's time to send them off. But I will tell you that Governor Hutchinson's plan that he's implemented, I see it working. I see that it's going to work. And so, I look forward to the next year coming, that hopefully that number will start to decrease and we'll be able to house more of just our local offenders longer. But yeah, to answer your question real short, yes, it's a good facility.
We talked about before that the state pays you a certain amount to hold their inmates, mm-hmm. and I saw through the county association that lots of counties are behind in getting paid by the state. Are they getting better at that now that we have a new governor in office?
I think it will be. Everything's kind of getting caught up right now. They did increase our day. They went from $28 to $30 that they're reimbursing. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it really is when, in the big scheme of things, every dollar counts. And but I think that the things that the governor has enacted, even though hasn't been a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, I think we can already see the wheels are rolling and moving, and I think that over the next year we'll see some good changes in not only getting our reimbursements, but getting people on into prison where they need to be. Anything else? Well, if not, I'll call an end to this. I'll have a good day, and again, thanks for coming.